Good morning to our audience of Morning at NTV Show. And as we wind up with the last segment of Morning at NTV Show, we bring you 360 coverage as the National Resistance Movement Secretary-General, that is Right Honorable Richard Todwong, continues with his tour here in the West Nile region. Now, when you look at this particular tour, it is intended to find out how deep-rooted the National Resistance Movement is in the West Nile region, but also inspect some of the government projects where taxpayers' money has been invested. He started his first visit on Saturday, and he had his first tour in Arua, where he inspected one of the multi-billion audition facility. And this facility, when you look at it, President Kaguta Museveni commissioned it in 2018. However, it started operationalization in 2023. Now, the argument from the owners of that facility is that why they started it a little bit late is because they had delay from the contractor. Now, this particular facility that we're talking about, when you look at it, it has capacity to produce over 180 tons of different flour, that is to say maize flour, we have cassava flour and sorghum. Now, one of the issues that we got during his visit is that most of the raw materials used at that particular facility are sourced from some of the neighboring districts, that is to say Hoima, Lira, Gulu, and Masindi. When you look at the West Nile region, its capacity is not sufficient enough to facilitate that particular facility, or maybe give the required raw materials. And looking at most of the West Nile districts, like Arua, Koboko, and Zombo, to mention a few, most of them are located at the border of either South Sudan or DR Congo. So, according to the operators or the directors of this particular facility, their market, the external market, is South Sudan and DR Congo. However, the current instability in these two countries has also affected their market, and currently they are only depending on the domestic market. Now, yesterday, the Secretary-General, together with the NRM Director in charge of Finance and Administration, that is Hajat Medina Naham, continued with the tour to Koboko, where they first had a visit to some of the projects. One of the projects that they visited is the multi-billion hospital project that started construction in 2019. However, because of the slow pace and also the gradual aspects of giving the monies, this facility is currently under hold. So one of the advocates from the area leaders is that they have requested the Secretary-General to extend their cry to Minister of Finance to ensure that they finance this particular project so that it is completed and people can benefit out of it. In summary, yesterday when he was speaking, he raised a number of issues. One of the issues that he raised is that when you look at Uganda itself, there are two kinds of politics. There are those who look at the negative side of the service delivery. Meanwhile, for government is concentrating on how best they can be in person to improve service delivery in the country. And yesterday when he was speaking or addressing the people in Koboko, he emphasized on the need for people to preach unity and love during these forthcoming elections, and he warned the politicians who are vying for the different positions against politics of division. And when he was speaking to them, he said the core value that is embedded in the NRM manifesto is unity, but also improving service delivery. So as per the program that stands today, tentatively, the Secretary-General is supposed to continue to Yumbe, where he will also visit some of the projects before finalizing with his tour in, that is, Moyo in Madi sub-region. So this is the update that I can give you from West Nile sub-region. The comprehensive details of these particular stories will come in our subsequent news bulletin. That is NTV at 1, NTV at Ongezi, and NTV Tonight. For the interest of time, allow me to let you back to my colleague in the studio, that is Chris.